head wrestling coach at Cal State Bakersfield. And with me is Riley Orozco, assistant wrestling coach, Brian Cobb, assistant wrestling coach, and not with us is volunteer assistant coach, Efren Ceballos. What we're going to do this year, we're starting off the 13-14 year, and what we want to do is have a little insider to the CSUB wrestling program. And so this is our first segment here where we're going to break down our blue-gold meet, which is our inter-squad meet where our wrestlers fight for the starting line. Break it down.
Well, on paper, I think Zimmer's the front runner. Transferred from Indiana, he's a two-time state placer. So
He's good, and he's from Columbus West, right here in this valley. Two-time state placer?
I think a third or fourth in the second.
In the second, finished second, but went to Indiana, came back. Now, Kyle Anderson from Servite. He's our only returning guy at this weight class. So he's been with us here, he's been working hard, he's made a lot of gains.
He also knows what we expect, what our program preaches. So he's been here, he's been through that already.
True, and he's a freshman. And then
I think Sergio's going to be the wild card now. He's scrappy, he's kind of predictable, and he dresses hard the whole time, I think. Any given match, he might be able to mix up this lineup.
he's good. He's got really good feel. He is good. But here's Matt Correa down here. Got a little asterisk here. He's a transfer from Cuesta, so he's not quite cleared yet to compete for us, but he will be. And he's going to be a factor. He is tough. He gets after it, and he makes the weight a little bit easier than Zimmer, who's coming down trying to make that weight. So that'll be a good mix-up once they enter the fold. But what we have on Saturday for our blue gold is going to be Kyle Anderson and Sergio Mendez. You got a redshirt freshman versus a true freshman, and the winner's going to wrestle Zimmer. Now we're on to 133. Here we've got a returning starter. Okay, this is one of the weight classes where you have a returning starter. And coming down is Pepe, who was 41s last year. Started off his career 33s as a freshman, was ranked in the country, placed in Vegas. But he was battling out with Frank Lomas, who was a two-time NCAA qualifier for it. So, finally tried to make the lineup last year, 41s, now back down to 33s. He's tough, he's proven, he's been ranked in the country. He's done it.
I think
So,
the big thing is this year he's worked on his weight. I think he ballooned up during the summer. He kept his diet, he started cutting weight a lot sooner. So, he's probably going to make the
That's,
season.
yeah.
Or last year he couldn't make it, bouncing out back and forth.
Yeah. Ian had some problems at the end of last year, though, getting hurt.
Yeah.
He had his ticket to his punch. He was there and then breaks his hand at the conference tournament. Pretty bad turn of events, and had a great season up to that point. Was ranked, I think, as high as 11th in the country, and has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he didn't get to go to the NC2As. He wanted to prove himself there as well. So this will be a good matchup.
Yeah, this will be good. Weight control, much better this year. So it'll be good. Last year, like you mentioned, we talked about earlier, last year they wrestled off. Pepe won, 4-1, 4-2, but didn't quite make the weight. So this year they're going to both make the weight, and they're going to wrestle. It's going to be tough. On to 41s. This weight class, Timmy Box, all the way. Everett Pratt is a 33-pounder, so really he should be mixing up with the 33-pounders, but we got to have a match for Timmy, so Everett Pratt's there. He's a freshman, redshirt freshman. He's come a long way. Wanted to be a 25-pounder, outgrew it, went to 33s. Actually, he's a pretty big 33-pounder. So to move him up, have him wrestle Timmy. He can give Timmy some fits because he's a little bit awkward to wrestle. But Timmy, hands down, should have this weight.
Yeah, but you can't count anybody out unless you can bracket the wild headlock or something. The Cobra in there, who knows.
Biggest thing to me is he outgrew 25s because of how much work he put in this summer.
Yeah.
He really did improve this summer.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, he's pretty short, he's pretty compact, and so is Timmy. And Timmy's usually able to get in on people. I mean, he can take down anybody in the country. He has,
Yeah.
you know, but Everett's a little bit more squatty, a little bit more boxy, and that might be a little harder for Timmy to get in and penetrate. So.
Yeah. No headlock. Timmy gets his hand raised.
Yeah.
Okay, on to 149. Returning starter again, this weight class. And we've got a bigger group here. So these guys, these wrestle up. Dalton beat AJ, close match. And Coleman beat Carrera, technically. So we're going to have 4 matches. Well, these 2 guys wrestle off. These guys need to be prepared, ready to take the spot if they need to. So our pre-match at 49s is here. Main event, Dalton Kelly, Coleman Hammer.
So this would be interesting.
You got a senior and a freshman.
Senior and freshman.
Senior and a
They
freshman.
both like to scramble.
But both these matchups are freshmen versus a guy who's been on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting dynamic there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
So
Very
this,
technical,
Yeah.
funky, don't likes to roll. He's more comfortable on the mat. So
and you watch him practice, and Coleman, you know, sometimes you'll watch him get the better of him. But Dalton is a gamer. He's a senior. He's smart. You know, this can be a different match than what you think. This can be my prediction. Dalton Kelly, he's a gamer. He's going to make this match interesting. Not to say that this is Coleman's match. It's not, because really, we've seen it. You've seen guys wrestle in the practice room and then get in a match, and it's different. So it'll be tough.
Dalton's got the pride factor.
Yeah, Dalton's older. He's going to be very prideful about this, and he's got some tricks up his sleeve. He
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
You sometimes always expect him to do the same thing. Every now and again, he'll surprise you.
Yeah. So Coleman, skills, he's got a lot of them. He's really good in a lot of areas, and he's got really good feel, but you got a veteran who's going to have
Crafty veteran at that.
crafty veteran.
You got a young technical wrestler versus an old, tough, prideful, junior, senior.
It'll be good. 157. This is an open weight class. We do have a returning starter, but he was 65s last year, dropping down to 57. So this weight class is going to be new for us. And you got 2 phenomenal athletes. So he's working to get his weight down. That's interesting. I always thought that he should be a 57-pounder. He was a little bit small as 65s, but he was heavy. He was big, and he got big this summer. So cut down to 57s, I think that's a weight class where he needs to be, but it is a big cut. Spencer, a little bit easier making weight. But you got 2 athletes.
Spencer's also a transfer, so he has college experience.
Yeah.
He wrestled for Paul Keesaw up in Fresno, and he's tough.
Yeah.
He's very tough. Meza is probably one of the most explosive guys we have on the team, as far as, motion, just quick, like what just happened. It's blazing speed. But Spencer is a tough, strong, technical wrestler.
Well, from a fan perspective, I think it's going to be exciting just because 2 of our better athletes on the whole team.
Yeah.
I've seen Maisie do some crazy stuff, and Spencer's right there with him. I mean,
He is.
he's kind of an under or a dark horse when it comes to athleticism. You wouldn't think so, but he's done some amazing stuff.
Yeah, this will be a great match for spectators, because like I said, 2 athletes getting after it. This will be some good wrestling.
They've both done crazy things with each other in the practice room. A bunch of times they turn heads and you get the oohs and ahs. So to see who's going to come out on top in the blue gold when they're both making weight and they're both out there with the singlet on is going to be a little different, but pretty exciting.
165. You've got, again, this is another open weight class. New starter, not a returning guy. Mesa dropped to 57s. So 65s is open. You got Jesus Ambrose, redshirt sophomore, Hunter Hodges, true freshman. Who Hunter technically 57-pounder, but for wrestle-off sake, he's going 65s, and he's going to have his hands full because you got a buzzsaw right here. This guy doesn't stop. So
Yeah.
And Aubrey's was a 74 pounder who we bumped to 84s a few times last year. He got a lot of matches in and against bigger, stronger guys and has experience putting a singlet on, getting out there and competing and getting after it.
Yeah, I just, Embry's has got an iron will. You put a challenge in front of him and he goes. He's actually ran track for a track team last year and beat out the starter, or tied the starter, or was right there competing with the Division I track athlete in the 800 meters. So just his will alone makes it pretty impressive. But Hodges is hard-headed himself and doesn't really know any better. He just gets after it.
Crazy feel.
Yeah.
Real awkward hips. And it just creates interesting scrambles.
Yeah. Yeah. This will be a good one. You'll be entertained by Jesus because he's going to go. Hunter, I don't know if he's really felt that very much, so we'll see how he holds up when you've got somebody that's constantly in your face. It'll be a good match and good experience for him to wrestle somebody with that level of intensity. 174, you got superstar Bryce Hammond versus Adam Fierro. Okay, this is going to be a good matchup. They wrestled. First of all, let's just say Bryce Hammond, returning starter, Pac-12 champ, NCAA qualifier, ranked 8th in the country, wrestling Adam Fierro, last year's 57-pounder, who is going to go 65s this year, but redshirt. They wrestled last week, went into overtime.
Pretty exciting matchup.
Exciting. We won't say he won for suspense. Good.
Well, I mean, Adam is a defensive wrestler, but in the match you saw him take some reshots, be offensive, and because he's put on so much size, was he weighing in the offseason?
185,
185.
He was wrestling me.
Big, yeah. He put on that size, but he put on some strength too.
Yeah. They put a lot of time in the weight room, so that helps. And you're strong. Feels good.
Well, these guys wrestle each other all the time. They were high school teammates, so they wrestled each other in high school, wrestled each other the past couple years. So,
Was it a 1,000 match or something?
yeah. This match number 1,000.
The interesting dynamic though is,
Match 1,000.
have they ever put on singlets and slapped hands? In front of a crowd. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Match number 1,000.
Perfect.
Great match. Anything else? Any more comments?
A lot of pride on the line. I think just because it's kind of like, because they come through the program together, through high school, through college together, we both had success, and they don't like losing.
They don't like losing, and they don't like losing to each other. Let's put that out there. And it was an overtime match. It was a tough match, and so, somebody's not real happy last time they wrestled, and so it'll be a good one. I know they're all great matchups, but you got returning starter. Can we say who the starter is? I don't know. This guy wrestled the conference, but Reuben Franklin was the starter for most of the season last year. Most major.
70%.
70%. Pollock took over starting spot at the end, went to conference. So you have two returning starters at one weight class. And it'll be a great matchup.
Yeah, Ruben's just a gamer or a horse. He just goes. Pollock, he's got a good feel. He knows how to pull things out.
He got a lot better at the end of last season. He really did. He made some good improvements, and he looked like a completely different wrestler than who he was in September and October of last season. I will point out, Reuben did have knee surgery halfway through the year, but nothing super substantial, and Sean jumped on it.
Yeah.
He saw the opportunity. Hey, there's a spot open in the lineup, and I'm going to take it. And he took it over for the rest of the year.
And he surprised us. I think he surprised all of us. He wrestled actually really well.
He beat the 18th ranked guy in the country last year from Morgan State, and went 3-2 match with Schwartz from Boise State, who was around the 12 at nationals. So
he can wrestle. When you watch him, you get from him more than what you really see. You see somebody out there, and doesn't look like a flashy, wrestler that looks like he's highly skilled, but he's got good feel, and he can wrestle. And then you got Reuben, who is a goer, who will wear down his opponent. So yeah, you got two guys here that
They
are
wrestle
going
each
to mix
other
it
a
up,
lot.
and they wrestle each other all the time. This match 2,000, so it'd be a great match. I really don't know what's going to happen. Okay, 197, your old weight class.
Yeah.
I'll let you break it down. You wrestle all these guys, so I'll
Well,
let you break it down.
this is interesting. Alex had an unfortunate situation last year. He kept getting hurt.
Broke his leg
Broke his
beginning of
leg.
season.
Kept getting sick. He only had 4 matches, so didn't really get a chance to wrestle a lot last year. Did some pretty good work in the off season. A lot of weightlifting, which he really needed. But he just got to get there. Like, he'll just throw his body. He's like a weapon.
He has really good feel. I mean, you see that when you wrestle him. I mean, when you see him wrestle, he's got good feel.
So that makes him a wild card. He's dangerous in certain positions, does some chin whip stuff, steps over when you're not supposed to, funky. So that's what he's got going for him. But Matt, he's one of the stronger freshmen that I've ever wrestled. Just like a natural strength. You see him in the weight room, he's not putting up big numbers, but he's got a natural strength. And he's got a lot of pride. He goes hard. He doesn't quit. And I think, that's what he's got going for him.
Yeah, it'll be. I have no idea what's going to happen there.
Yeah. Well, I know
That'd be a good one.
we've wrestled some matches before with Williams coming out on top by a larger number, and then they turn around and wrestle again, and Alex will beat them, by the same amount.
So they're back and forth, a little inconsistent. So this
Yeah.
up in the air. Manuel Barber, he's in the mix, but having knee surgery. Small little, be out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Small little scope, clean it up. But it'll be interesting when he squares off with those guys.
Something else too is he might go 84s too.
Yeah.
He's big enough to be a 97-pounder, but he can go 84s. He mixes up with all these guys. He's gotten better of all these guys at one point, or another.
Yeah.
And he's strong. He's athletic. He's got pretty good feel. So,
He's a big, strong kid with some good offense.
yeah.
And if you match up well with some other guys that are a little slower, because Amanda's pretty quick, you can pose some problems. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens when he gets healthy.
This one's up in the air.
Yeah.
Heavyweight. Again, I should probably have you break this down because you wrestle with these guys. But you've got a returning starter. I'll just say that returning starter. Stephen redshirted last year.
That's the time you before wrestled a lot.
Yeah.
Wrestled big at Wrestling Reno.
Yeah.
Wrestling duel against American, didn't he?
Yep. Wrestled top 2.
So he's got Go ahead. Senior and
Special softball.
redshirt sophomore.
So, Sammy, a lot of time in the weight room, and I feel that he's about 20 pounds heavier than he was last year. Really strong. So that helps. He's walking around at 265, 266.
Yeah, no, he's added a lot of muscle. That is going to be a big help for him.
Is that Sammy Kong telling you using the weight room?
No.
Yeah.
Get it later.
He was a little bit of an undersized heavyweight last year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to have him put that kind of size on is going to be a tremendous advantage for him.
Yeah, and it's muscle. I mean, it's muscle, so it's
He's not soft, that's for sure.
But Wood's strong too. They're lifting partners, and Wood puts up just as much weight, in squats and some of the other lifts. So he's strong too. He's very deceiving. He's got decent feel. He can throw. And I've seen him throw a lot of the guys. He's got pretty good feel with the lat drop and headlock and stuff. So, but he's hard to score on too.
Came out of Lemoore, they have a good program, they build guys up. He's not a slouch, he knows how to wrestle, that's for sure.
I think the upper hand with Sammy, just with the strength and a little bit of maturity. But Wood's right there. He's been showing some good improvements. Wrestling hard, just getting after it, doesn't care, just fight. So it's anybody's game at that point. You
they
fight-
wrestle each other all the time. So these guys are wrestling each other. So, but we see it. And I think Sam does get the upper edge on Wood most of the time in the practice room. So you're probably right. I think Cervantes has got the lead going into Saturday, but like you said, anything can happen. That's it for this segment of The Insider for CSUB Wrestling. Hope that those breakdowns will help you follow as you watch the blue and gold this Saturday. which is also going to be our dedication to the former head coach, T.J. Kerr, who coached here from 1984 to 2010 and passed away last June. We're dedicating this season to him, and we're going to have a little special dedication on Saturday. So 1 o'clock Saturday, blue and gold in the old gym. Hope you're there to watch.